Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training. I'm traveling again, going to another canine trainer and friend of mine, John Anthony. And John Anthony owns Redemption Road Canine, and he's done real good for himself. He came into the business a year or two ago and established his business. He's done a good job with his marketing, and he was a little different than most dog trainers I've met over the years. He actually was a college-educated man. He went through Duke University to do his behavioral science and that sort of thing. So John likes to think of himself as a scientist. He likes to do research. So it's kind of a cool thing. He's very deliberate about how he does things. And one of the things I really respect about John is that he got into the business not really knowing what the canine business was going to be all about, and wanted to do it for his research and stuff, and he loves his dogs. And he's actually went out and taken that passion and put it somewhere. You know, he's worked real hard at putting one foot forward and always trying to develop himself as a trainer. And that's what I try to pass on to anybody, one of the younger guys that come to me, is it's all about your mental attitude, right? You have to have the attitude that, like I do, that I've tried to anyway, that I know nothing and I'm never going to stop trying to learn and grow. And the way I say that, you've heard me say this before, it's a little saying I came up with when I was in my first business out of high school after I got back from training firm in the Oakland, the Bay Area, was that I know everything and I know nothing. And I know nothing before I know everything, and I hope I feel that way when I'm 85. Meaning you never stop learning and growing, and when you do, you stop reaching to try to learn and grow, you might as well just turn the light out, because that's all the enjoyment in life for me. You know, in this trade, it's really cool because there's so many multitude of things you can do with dogs. There's so many different breeds. There's so many different customers with ignorant levels. Excuse my using the word ignorant, but it's something I use. If you don't know, you don't know. You're ignorant. It doesn't matter. It's not a negative word to me. It just means you don't know something, right? The trick is to want to learn and always wanting to grow and to go somewhere. The other thing I've come across lately in the last year or so, that it's something I already knew, but I want to reaffirm it to you guys and make you realize, in the dog profession as a whole, it doesn't take a license to open a business as a dog trainer. Anybody can hang up a shingle and say, "Poofta, I'm a dog trainer." Now, most of the smart dog trainers are wanting to make sure that they get accreditation. They have some kind of certificates that say they know what they're doing, and work hard to get those things hanging on their wall, right? So John has done that. He's went out and he went over to France and worked with the top ring sport trainers over there. He's done everything he can to keep himself pointing forward. He has a PSA club that I'm a member of. PSA research group or something like that, but so he's very active and always wanting to learn and grow. Right now he's working for a veterinarian, doing a lot of veterinary rehab. He's found himself a vet that specializes in rehab with the water pools and the swimming and stuff. So it's I respect that. I respect the heck out of it, you know. But we've got trainers in our area that call themselves trainer, that I call Poofta trainers, okay? There's one of the things that goes on in this profession nowadays is they've got all these sports, and these kids like to get out and take bites and get into the suit, and they learn to take bites, they get certified as decoys and things like that, and all of a sudden they think they're a trainer, and they go, "Poofta, I'm a trainer," and they hang out a shingle, okay? But they haven't paid their dues. They haven't went out to work real hard to achieve some accreditation, to have the right frame of mind and have that character, you know, character of heart. A lot of times I'll have the younger guys come to me, they want to be a trainer, and they go under a mentor type of thing. And for the most part, I end up putting them back in the kennel, I let them scoop some shit, and I start trying to see what their character is about. Do they show up on time? Are they willing to work and go through adversity without complaining and without expecting to have this knowledge overnight? Because it doesn't come overnight, believe me, right? Are they willing to put in the hard work? Well, that's what I grew up with. As a young man, when I grew up, you didn't go out and just say Poofta and get into a trade and just say Poofta. You went under and did an apprenticeship. You did a mentoring program under something. I mean, we used to have welders and all kinds of different trades in America. They've fallen out. Our trades and our ability to do things as far as what's being done in America are being lost. You know, and they're being lost to China. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is because of corporate greed, right? They can make more money and they can do better on stocks in the stock market by going overseas and paying these poor guys, you know, $1 a day to do the same thing that we want to get paid a wage for, you know. $10, $15 an hour. We want a working wage, and we need to survive. They don't have to do that, so they can actually go over to China and ship the product back here and still not be paying as much as they would if they had to pay the labor over here. And that's just a fact of life. It's just the way it is, and I don't think it's going to change too much. But it would be nice to see the trades come back and some pride in what we produce. We used to be, at one time, the production of almost anything you could think of was produced here in America. Woodworkers in Virginia. There were some of the best cabinet makers, and all that industry's pretty much died out. You still find some of the old school woodworkers, but not as much, So the trades have died out. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing to happen. So just keep it in mind. I was going over it today talking about that officer that's looking to get himself another dog. And I mentioned that the character in people, that there's good and bad in every profession. There's always going to be somebody that's wanting to take shortcuts and be a jerk and be an idiot, and making the profession look bad because he's out there doing these things that he shouldn't be doing. And I've got one person in mind, and he knows who I'm talking about when he watches this vid, but I won't mention his name. I just want to let you understand the disease, the affliction that happens with human nature. This individual in general is a greedy SOB, and he thinks he's going to make $1 million at this profession. And he's like a high dollar salesman. He wants to sell dogs for $40,000. I'll make this kind of money. He's always kind of living in a fantasy world. And he's not willing to pay the dues. He put up a shingle and said, "Poof, I'm a trainer," after he went out and caught some dogs and did a little bit of decoy work and thinks he's a trainer. And unfortunately, and I'll say it to you guys and I'll say it to him, he couldn't train his way out of a friggin' paper bag. And then when you get down to it, there's a lot of times that people come to you with problems. They've got reactivity, they've got other aggression problems, they've got things that you need to really dig deep to be able to understand how to solve the problem and be a service to your customer, And then your mental attitude should be that you're there to serve your customer, It's another reason I love John. He has an attitude that's really a great attitude about his customers are like family to him, And he has an attitude and a knowledge and forthright attitude saying that it's important that he's there for his customer. And I have that same attitude. Those that are doing business that have that type of character trait, that are, excuse the noise of the engine and everything, but we're going over some climbing at the end of the hills here. Those that have that character trait and that care about their customers and have a little bit more forthright attitude usually are the ones that end up winning, right? The guys that are like this trainer I'm mentioning that couldn't train his way out of a paper bag, they burned themselves out. Within a year or two, word goes out, word of mouth, and pretty soon nobody will touch him. He won't be able to get any business. The sad part about it is he's been selling his services to customers that don't have a clue and charging twice as much as I do. I don't charge as much as some of these younger trainers because I don't feel it's fair to the owner. Everybody's got a budget they've got to have, and they've got to pay for these things. And I charge what I think is fair and what I can do to make a living. I don't overcharge, right? And there's a lot of trainers that have put themselves in a position and they've got like a high dollar salesman, a car salesman, and they're promising all this stuff to the customer, and they're full of shit. When they get done, they haven't done the job, they didn't work the dog enough times to be able to produce the product, and the customer comes to pick up their dog and the customer's got nothing back. And that's what this individual's doing. And he's burning his bridges. Slow but sure, it'll catch up to him. The word will go out. In the profession, us dog trainers, a lot of us know, if I'm talking about this individual, they know probably exactly who I'm talking about. And I won't say it because that's just not, it's going over the line, right? Unless he really broaches something that really comes at me and really makes me, I'll flame his world. I'll go out and I'll spread the word with everybody, I'll spread the word with the public, and I will tear his house down, right? Mainly because he has a bad character and he doesn't belong in the business. He's already proved himself, he's been in it for a couple of years now, that he's a shyster and he needs to be blown out. He really does. And I'm looking for the time when he finally does. So that's my little chat. I'm getting a little long-winded, but if you ever want to get into the profession, look to be mentoring under somebody. Look to work in a kennel. Look to scoop some shit. Look to work for what you earn in the knowledge that you're going to get. Okay, it's not going to come overnight. It takes paying your dues, right? Pay your dues, and then hang out a shingle, and then try to achieve what you're trying to achieve. You'll get a lot more respect from your counterparts, your colleagues that are in the profession. and you'll do a better service for your customer, and that's what you should care about, right? You should care about your customers. So sorry about the lighting, and I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good day. Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training, heading out to John Anthony's Redemption Road Canine, and we'll maybe show you a few pictures as we go along working with them. I'm doing pretty good, guys. I'm getting like 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week. We're getting some sessions, protection sessions. So that means that my dogs are going to be better served, and they're going to turn out better because of that. You know, I like to go to people that have different styles, have different how do you say it? What's my word that I'm always using? Accent points, right? Each trainer does. Each trainer has little things that they get into, and John Anthony's one of these guys.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Angeles Forest Highway.
I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training. Heading out to train some more dogs and do some more bite work. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.